And this is my sister Gina. She's the oldest, Patty, and then myself. I was about almost 3 years old, I believe. She would have been 4 and she would have been 5.
Colleen Cardinal is an Indigenous woman from Saddle Lake Cree Nation in Alberta. She lost her sister 29 years ago. She was murdered in 1990 at Beaver Hills House Park in downtown Edmonton.
My biological father called me and said, you know that woman they found in the park? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's your sister. And I like, my whole world just flipped upside down. Because like I'd never, ever experienced anybody dying before. I'd never been to a funeral before. It was like a dream. Like I was walking like in a murky dream for the next couple of days, maybe even months. I just felt like I was in a bubble and I couldn't really, nothing made sense. So it was hard.
She looks for photos of her sister in a pink box that she keeps in her dining room.
Yeah, I don't have very many photos of her.
Yet she finds only few that bring her back to the time she had with her sisters. Cardinal and her 2 sisters were adopted together during the 60s scoop, a policy that resulted in more than 20,000 Indigenous children being forcibly taken from their homes and placed into homes with non-Indigenous families. One
of the things that we have in common as 60 Scoop survivors is not only have we been through the child welfare system, a lot of us have had missing and murdered Indigenous relatives, sisters and brothers, mothers, aunties, and it's just part of the colonial violence that we've experienced in Canada.
She ran away with her sisters from their abusive home. They wanted to be free and far away from their abusive father who sexually and physically assaulted them.
Brother, adopted mother, and I cut my adoptive father out. I was so terrified at one time in my life that I'd be killed too, so I used to carry a knife with me. But I know women who carry knives to this day.
In Canada, statistics show that Indigenous women and girls are much more likely to experience violence than non-Indigenous women. The RCMP released a report in 2014 saying 164 Indigenous women were missing and 1,017 were murdered between 1980 and 2012. The same report says 225 of these cases are still unsolved. Families and friends of the victims report these cases to the authorities, but they see these cases neglected and forgotten.
A friend of mine just died not knowing what happened to her daughter not too long ago. She's been missing for over 10 years.
For years, Colleen and many other Indigenous women, families and friends have come to mourn their loved ones every October 4th at the Parliament Hill.
I'm scared. I'm scared to be in the dark alone.
As they come to mourn, they share heartbreaking stories of their loved ones going missing or being murdered. One of the organizers, Bridget Tolley, has been part of the vigil for 15 years.
It's not okay, and it'll never be okay till we get to the truth. We've been asking for the truth. You know, and I've been saying it over and over. Reopen closed cases. The truth is there, the way they investigated our cases. You want to see the truth? It's there. Let's reopen those cases and see the real truth.
Despite the many unsolved cases, Colleen still has hope for a better future.
I'm optimistic. I have hope that people can change. I have hope that, you know, the youth, like I said, are going to lead the way. They're going to change that dialogue. They're going to unlearn that violence that is already perpetuating the problem. In a perfect world, in a perfect Canada, what I would like to see is I would like to see Canada honor their treaties and how we share the resources and the profits from the resources, and honor those treaties, those agreements that we signed with them to share the land and the profits, and for us to be equal, not us below them.